Welcome to Luxon Photography. Today a review, a technical or emotional review I should say, about the Canon EF 50mm f1.8 STM lens. Now, I haven't done so many reviews and I think it's time to just give you an experience, my experience with the lenses I use and what I think about them. It's not so technically. I will not talk about the spec sheet a lot. I will talk about my emotions. How does it feel? What do I think of it? How well does it deliver? What can I make with it and what not? And let's start with something with the weight. Now, when you think this is a full frame camera lens, and I use it on full frame cameras only, Canon 5D series, Canon 6D series. And now when you think about full frame, usually it's big lenses, very expensive, very heavy, and interestingly, this lens is the opposite of all this. It's very small, it's very lightweight, and it costs about 100 euros. A little bit more, but 110 euros you will pay for this lens. And so, for a full frame lens, it's such an incredible value to have a small lens which weighs only about 180 grams, I think. And when you take many pictures, like I do, I photograph nearly every day. I have the camera with me nearly every day. And when you do this, weight is so important. I have other lenses. Here is the 85 1.2. Right now, just picking this up, this is so heavy. When I shoot 1 or 2 hours with it, 1 or 2 hours, I already will feel my hand hurting. And this is not something funny, because when you photograph a lot, nearly every day, and you edit also images a lot, you have huge pressure on your hand. And after 3 or 5 or 10 years of doing that, you might get into health problems with your hand. You might hurt your hand over the years when you edit thousands of images every week and take pictures, thousands of pictures every week. After some years, there might be a problem with it. So I really value and appreciate small, lightweight lenses. Now, there are people who say it's not a quality lens because it's small and it's plastic. I say a quality lens is a lens that I can use every day and will not be in the way, will not bring me pain in my hand or in my bag when I carry it in a camera bag. So small and lightweight is a quality that I really appreciate, and big and heavy I don't value and I don't want it. That's why often the 85 just stays at home, because it's not good enough, just in terms of weight and size. Okay, back to the 50. Now, the weight I think is spectacular. I can't imagine a reason to want a big heavy lens, especially when you shoot often. And the second thing that is really interesting is the price. It's only 100 something euros. And for this price you get a spectacular quality. I would pay double, triple amount of money for this lens and would still get very cheap away, I think. It's an f1.8 lens, which means you can blur out the background very nicely. I film now with the 50mm 1.2 lens, the more expensive lens, the 13 times more expensive lens, at f2.0 I think, or 2.8. And now f1.8 is a really nice aperture to get blurry backgrounds. In fact, the negative is at f1.8 this lens is not so sharp. So I use it between f2.2 and 2.8. And I never changed that. I don't go to f4, I don't go to f8. I photograph emotions, I photograph people, and I love blurring out the background. I think it's a quality that you get in your images when you have a blurry background and only the couple is in focus. You only see the couple. The emotion is with the couple. The couple makes the image, not the background, when you take emotional pictures. And I use this at f2.2 and I can get great images at f2.2, 2.5, 2.8. Great focus, great sharpness, great speed, great accuracy. This lens is very accurate, which means that if I take 10 pictures at f2.2 with the center focus point, focusing with the center, then recomposing, and then push the button. From 10 images, 9.5 images are in focus and are sharp and are great. Nearly all images are in focus and great. If an image is out of focus, it's my fault. It's not the lens fault. The lens is very accurate. And now what can you do with this lens? What is the use? Now 50mm is like the human eye. The eye has a field of view of about 50mm. And this is a 50mm lens on a full frame camera. So people are used to seeing 50mm images because that's how they walk through life. So it's a focal length that is very common. Also, most people start off with a lens like this, cheap, prime lens. So it's probably one of the most sold lenses on the planet. So they are probably, it's the lens with which most images were taken on this planet. So there's a huge pool of images taken with this lens. And now, in summer, I'm on weddings very often. If you ask me if I could shoot one wedding with only one lens, would I use the 85 1.2, the heavy beast? Would I use the 50 1.2 that's filming? Would I use the Sigma 35 1.4? Would I use the 24 1.4? Would I use the 135 2.0? The only lens I need for a wedding, if it really comes down to a challenge using only one lens at a wedding, would be this 50 1.8. The quality that this lens will give you is on par with all the other lenses, I think, from the emotional results that I get. The images I get with this lens, when you look at them and you look at the images from the 50 1.2, you probably cannot say which lens was used for which image. You probably cannot say that. I probably cannot say it. When I take pictures with the 50 1.2 and I look at them, they look like I've taken them with this lens. So it's a very spectacular lens for the price you have. And even if you pay double or triple the amount, it would still be a phenomenal lens. Now let's go to the competition. 50mm is a very well used focal length, and so there are other lenses available too. In the Canon house, we got the 1.8 version for 100 euros, the 1.4 version for 350 euros, and the 1.2 version that's filming for 1,350 euros. So it's 1,250 euros more expensive than this one, which means I can buy 13 of this one or one of these. And I've tried all three, and I think that the difference is very small. And I think if you have the 1.8 version and it works, you don't need the other two. Instead of buying the 50 1.2, I would rather buy another lens, maybe a telephoto lens, 85 1.8, 135 2.0, 100L lens, also a great lens. So you have a variety in focal length, get close, get far away, a wide angle, telephoto, a normal lens. There are also other companies like Sigma. They have the Art series. I have the 35mm lens here from the Art series. There's a 50mm version as well for 750 euros. It's a nice price point, half of what this costs, about the 1.2 version. And the Sigma Art lenses are said to be very sharp and very great and super duper. I feel they are very long and very heavy. So the whole camera gets very front heavy. And it doesn't feel nice. I often shoot with one hand. I have the camera in one hand. And when I do that, and the lens is very heavy in the front and it's very long, it takes a lot of energy and the hand starts to hurt very quickly. Also with the Sigma lenses, the autofocus out of the box is not so nice, so often you have to calibrate the camera. And when you start off in photography and you buy a lens new for 700 something euros, I expected it to work. It didn't work and I was very disappointed, and so I personally am not interested in Sigma Art lenses. I have one and it's not the one I like to use often because the accuracy is not on par with the other lenses I have. It's very front heavy as well and very heavy overall. So in terms of competition, there is not one lens with autofocus that's lighter and smaller. There's a Yongnuo version, it's a copy of this, 50mm, it's even cheaper. But when you look at the true competition, you get very far with this lens. When you make a photo of the same moment, the same portrait with the 51.8, 51.4, 51.2, the difference is very small. And if you're not a pro photographer who's very pixel peeping like, you probably don't even know that different lenses were used. The difference is so slim. So I really can recommend this lens. I think this is, if you need a 50mm lens, this is the one that will bring you very, very far. Now I bought the 51.2 because this fell down and broke. It still works, but it's the autofocus, you can hear it very loud and it's not okay. So I thought I need a new lens and I bought this out of curiosity and out of I want it, not I need it. After I got it, I was really disappointed how similar the images look. When I edit images from this lens and images from the expensive 1.2 version 50mm lens, and I edit them the same way, I don't see much difference. Even if I shoot at f1.2 with that lens and f2.2 with this, I don't see much difference. So just to give you an insight, an idea, I think not everybody has access to these expensive lenses as well, so I thought I'd give you my experience with it. Now, the bokeh is the blurry background, and some people say the bokeh is noisy. Some people say it's not so nice. I think the bokeh is really nice. I think the bokeh is great. I think you can blur out the background very well. In the 50mm lens, you can take portraits, you can take pictures, half body shots, full body shots, facial shots with great blurry background. The sun comes and goes, so I have to change the settings. And just so you know, I talk now a lot and didn't show you any images. So now let me give you some videos where you see how I take images with this lens, shot at f2.2 to f2.8. Thank you very much. Poi vai i cerca. Ja. Poi a ver. Ja. Perfecto. Voy un poco más lejos. Sí, con las manos. Ja, muy guay. Voy a ver. Y una más cerca. Muy bien. Es como, vamos a ver. Tengo una tarjeta muy necesitamos.
Machen wir so ein Praktikum.
Ach so, in welchem Bereich?
Sozial, also so wie in so einer Behinderteneinrichtung.
Ach so, schön. Ja, dann habt ihr ein paar schöne Erinnerungsmomente.
Ja.
Vielleicht einfach hier. Einfach so gegengehen. Dann haben wir so ein bisschen hier die Skyline. Ja, genau. Sehr schön. Ich schau einmal von der Einstellung her. Aber ich denke, das schaut ja sehr schön so. Schaut sehr schön aus. Sehr schön. Und ich schau mal, vielleicht ich werde euch auch noch einmal, wenn ihr euch vielleicht nicht unterwegs, das vergessen muss nicht so lassen, einfach so ein bisschen euch hier so rüberbringt, dann fotografiere ich so einfach von hier. Ja, genau. Sehr schön. Und ihr könnt vielleicht einfach hier schon zur Brücke schauen. Sehr schön. Und noch einmal zu mir. Sehr schön. Und vielleicht sogar einmal, wenn ihr euch einfach wieder an eine Seite hier anlegt. Ja, genau. Schaut sehr schön aus. Ich zeige euch gleich auch mal, wie das ausschaut. Sehr schön. Wir können mal schauen. Video von hier und dann ohne Video von euch beiden. Also die sind nur für euch die Bilder.
Du machst es schon.
Dann habt ihr ein paar schöne Momentaufnahmen. Ich schau einmal. Ich mache die Bilder mit der Kamera. Sollen wir ein paar ohne Brille machen und dann ein paar mit? Geht das mit?
Ja, ich glaube schon.
Ich schau einfach mal. von der Einstellung her. Ja, schön. Passt? Von der
Ich kann noch nicht weiter zurückgehen.
ja, das schaut sehr schön aus. Vielleicht sogar, wenn du einmal dich hinstellst.
Auch das noch.
Und oder vielleicht, wenn du dich hier einfach einmal anlehnst. Ja, sehr schön. Schau ruhig nochmal zu deiner Mutter rüber. Ja, genau. Sehr schön. Sonst schaut's mal lieber
Also ich habe es jetzt schon fein fotografiert, aber Rest liegt bei mir.
Richtig gut gemacht.
Gut gemacht.
vielleicht auch wenn wir einmal an die Wand gehen.
Komm gleich. Alles gut.
Kommst du hier aus Hamburg? Ja. Zürich? Ah, schön. Jetzt machen wir bis Ah, schön. Du kannst dich einfach mal anlehnen. Ich mache mal ein Bild einfach von hier. Aber ich glaube, ich mache auch eins von der Seite. Das schaut, glaube ich, auch sehr schön aus. Kannst ruhig so bleiben. Ja. Schau noch einmal zu mir. Ich gehe noch mal einen Schritt zurück.
Ja.
Dann kriege ich dich noch mal ganz drauf. Und schau auch noch mal einfach so in die Ferne. Voy a ver si está bien. Ah ja. Voy a ver. Muy bien. Perfecto. ¿Puedes mirar un poco arriba? Vamos a ver unas fotos.
Me pongo por aquí, es muy bonito también.
Sí, yo solo quiero como así.
Mira, te quiero que foto más bonita.
Me voy a poner por las flores,
Ja.
se queda muy bonito.
Ja, con las... ja, eso es muy guay.
Mientras no me pique la abeja, espera que me estaba...
Todo bien. Oh ja, es muy bonito. Hago también una desde aquí. Sí, puedes...
¿Así?
Ah, ja. Muy guay. Y una de así. Ah, ja, muy guay. Si quieres una con gafas.
Vale.
Perfecto. Y voy un poco más lejos. Aquí.
Mira qué cool.
O un poco más. Bueno.
Aquí te la mira, si te pones por aquí.
O puedes. Ya, así.
Mira, ese trocito queda muy bonito.
Sí. Perfecto. Y una arriba. Y puedes mirar en esa dirección otra vez. Es muy guay. Con la luz. Y una aquí. Vamos a ver. Oh ja. Puedes mirar a tu madre. Ah ja. Y puedes poner tu mano así. Muy bonito. Perfecto. Muy bien. Vamos a ver a las fotos.
Yeah, I don't ask for nothing but the sunshine. The race is going one day to blind my eyes, and birds fly around like you can move from wind, fly until they find the place where you have been. Ask for the direction and it's back in time. The workaholics say to say you died, but knowing you'd come back, children awaits you. She open them doors and make them faithful. Nightmares vanish, dreams come true. It's what they say every time they're seeking you. Time starts to tick, air starts to breathe. I wonder what means the day to me. I never thought about waking up in dreams. Never thought about being me. I never thought about just breaking it up. I'm breaking it stuff, I'm breaking it up.